Let's have a look at question 3 in this video. So we have a department which employs 20 workers and they earn a salary W. And this department wants to give free coffee at work. Now, there is a utility of the workers depending on that coffee. So this is the utility function where B stays for the happiness from consumption of other goods and C stays for the amount of coffee that they drink. Also, P is less than 2 times N. So these are just some terms where P is the price of coffee. In part A, we want to draw the figure of the utility with respect to the cups of coffee. So utility on the y-axis, cups of coffee on the x-axis. Let's see how that works out. First of all, let's have a look at this utility function and then we'll understand what's going on. This is the utility function, right? It's this mathematical thing. Let's just expand it and see what's the relationship between the utility and the coffee, because that's what we're looking for. So we would have b minus, now let's open the brackets over here, n minus c to the power of 2, that's n squared minus 2nc plus c squared, right? That's the utility function, which means that the utility, if we open the brackets, is going to be b minus n squared minus 2nc becomes plus 2nc and minus c squared. If that is the utility function, what is the relationship between the utility and the consumption of coffee? We can see there is a quadratic relationship, right? C is to the power of 2 with the coefficient of -1, meaning that if we plot this on a graph, we would have the utility on the y-axis over here and the consumption of coffee over there, and the graph is going to look like a parabola. In this shape, right? It's going to be something like that. And what's the intuition here? What's the common sense behind it? Well, some coffee makes us happy. It gets to a point where it maximizes our happiness, but beyond the point, too much coffee just makes us, worse off. Too much caffeine, not too good. That's the intuition. So there is a point that optimizes our utility, and we want to find out what that point is. This is how it looks on a graph, but just for the sake of the math, let's finish off this real fast by taking the derivative, because this is the derivative of the utility function with respect to coffee, where it is equal to 0. It's a flat slope. So the utility derivative with respect to coffee equals to 0. That would be equivalent to saying that, okay, this one derivative is going to be 0. N squared is a constant, derivative with c is 0. 2n times c, derivative with respect to c is just 2n, minus c squared derivative with respect to c is just 2c equals to 0, meaning that 2n equals to 2c. So we would have that 2n equals to 2c. 2 and 2 cancels out, which gives us that n would be equal to c. So the optimal amount of coffee is equal to n. This corresponds to n. Hope this makes sense. Next video we go to part B.